Hello everyone, hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. So sometimes what I feel, I will tell you, because this is entrepreneurship for me, and like I'm venturing into it, and the first year is generally the toughest. Sometimes I feel like I will go mad. I solve one problem and then other problem appears. But again, that's a part and parcel of this whole thing. It's a every day is a new day. Every day something new is happening. But yes, come what may, I have to keep on doing it. What is, I was reading somewhere, what is the biggest recipe of success? It's not about doing something awesome and this and that. It's all about being disciplined. you know Disciplined. Keep on doing one thing day in day out. Be boring, be disciplined, and you'll be successful. If I keep on doing this into analysis thing for 2 years, 3 years, maybe, like, I'm not a robot, maybe I can get maybe I will not be well sometime, or maybe my family will need me for 3 4 days once in 6 months, whatever. That those are exceptions. But if I keep on doing it, I'll be successful. Doesn't matter, guys, whether I'm average or above average. The thing which you need for success is consistency. It is very important. So yeah. So we are back. Good morning. Like, let's continue, guys. So we are talking about page 6 editorial written by C Rangarajan sir and DK Srivastava sir. And hello everyone, hope I'm audible, visible. Everything is fine, right? Harshini, Rishi, Gajanan. So here they will talk about a lot of things. They will talk about a lot of figures, 33% this and that. But as I have told you, or maybe you people were not able to hear me, in this article, the things which are important, we have already talked about GDP, NDP, GNP, NNP in previous Hindu analysis. We'll have a glimpse at it. We will talk about GVA today, gross value added. We will talk about national income, NNPFC, net national product at factor cost. What is factor cost? How it is different from market price? What is ICOR, incremental capital output ratio? So all these things, they are very important from various different perspectives. So let's have a look at this editorial, and then we will go into the intricacies. As you have understood, we have talked about, when we talk about economy articles like microfinance, etc., terms are very important. So here, these two big people, economists, they are saying that India's, they earlier estimated India's growth rate at 6.5%. And here, now in the quarter one, what is quarter one of 25-26? April to June, the growth rate was more than 6.5%. Now the question is, will our growth rate, increase or what? So they are discussing about that, and they are talking about two things: public investment, private investment. Public investment, as the name suggests, government is spending. They are making roads, they are making different buildings, etc., etc. So they are saying that public investment is fine, but we need to focus on private investment, guys. That is not as we envisioned. We need to focus more on private investment. Only public investment cannot drive growth in India. So they are talking about all these things: gross value added, very good, and then some more. And then they have talked about numbers. As I have told you, these numbers are not important, these terms are very important. What is GVA? As GYN said, gross value added. What is the basic meaning here? So you take GDP, and then GDP in terms of GVA is what? GVA plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. So that is GDP. So what happens is, GVA is sector specific. Sector specific. Let's say agriculture. Gross value added. Basically, the meaning is gross value added, as GYN has stated. What is gross value added? So let's say you have milk. You converted it into paneer. Your milk value was 30 rupees, your paneer value is 80 rupees, so this value added is 50 rupees. So they will keep on adding these values, and they are sector specific. On the other hand, GDP is considering the whole economy, is considering economy as a whole. So GDP is GVA plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. So as you can understand, we'll talk about these terms. As you can understand here, if this is the formula and relationship between GDP and GVA, so if taxes are larger, if taxes are greater than subsidies, your GDP will be greater than GVA. If somebody tells you that GVA will always be greater than GDP, that is wrong. There can be some country, China, etc., we don't know, where, like, if taxes are greater than subsidies, GDP will be greater than GVA. But if vice versa happens, if subsidies are greater than taxes, then GVA will be greater than GDP. In our country, generally the taxes are larger than the subsidies. So GDP is generally larger than GVA. So keep it in mind. It's not like it's a fixed rule that GDP is always greater than GVA. It depends on so many things. So these things are important. And then comes the other things, like what is GDP? Good value of all goods and services produced within your country. And then what is NDP? That is GDP minus depreciation, wear and tear of your goods and services. And then you have GNP, which is GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad. Whatever money people from Western Asia, remittances they are sending, minus foreigner people. Let's say Tom Cruise is working here on a Dihadi, so whatever money he will send to his home country, so GNP. And then you have NNP, that is GNP minus depreciation. GNP minus depreciation, hope you can see it here. And then you have national income. What is national income? National income is NNP FC, net national product at factor cost. What is factor cost? Again, factor cost and market price, you can understand it via this example. What is market price? Market price is factor cost plus taxes minus subsidies. So this is the basic difference between all these terms, guys. Don't get confused, you will witness them a lot. For the time being, just remember these things. What we have discussed: GDP is GVA plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. NDP is GDP minus depreciation. GNP is GDP plus NFIA. NNP GNP minus depreciation. And your net national income, or your national income rather, they have asked this multiple number of times in other different exams. NNP at factor cost. Factor cost means how much you are incurring when you're making things. Here you are not taking into consideration taxes, etc. So factor cost is compared with market price. As I've told you, MP is factor cost plus taxes minus subsidies. Forget about all these things. Just remember NNPFC is your national income. Have you heard about these things earlier, guys? Or this is the first time you're hearing about it? Cheppandis, Chepputelsu ledu kadu. etc. So factor cost is compared with market price, as I've told you. Have you heard about these things earlier? Chapades. What do you have to say about that? Okay, now let's focus on this article. What these two guys are saying. So they are talking about how India needs to invest more on private investment. Only public investment will not drive growth. We have to create an environment where these private sectors, they come and they invest. So again, sector by sector performance. GVA, as we have discussed, it is sector specific. They will talk about manufacturing, they will talk about services, and GDP is combining all of them together. So you have to remember these things, you have to remember these facts. Yes, sir. Basics of economics. Very good. Harshini, Anandu, Iltush. So now, where were we? I forgot. So you can see the numbers here, services below the previous average. Again, the numbers don't matter that much, guys. What you have to understand are the terms, what you have to understand, what is lagging in India currently? Private investment, that is lagging. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about, FDI, FPI, even that is not very enthusiastic, again because of the whole global churn which is happening, global trade headwinds, tariff barriers, all these are issues, and these things have to take care, or has to be improved, and then private investment will improve hopefully in future. Positive factors. Now again, there is a term ICOR. What is the basic meaning of the term ICOR? Cool, Jivan. So ICOR is incremental capital output ratio. What is the basic meaning here? Like how much input you are giving to get an additional unit of output, So high ICOR means you are giving higher input to get, one additional unit of output. Low ICOR means you're giving low input to get one additional unit of output. So tell me, guys, what is good for an economy? Low ICOR or high? If an economy has to be efficient, then we need low ICOR or high ICOR. Hope you're understanding. Incremental capital output ratio. You are investing something and you are, increasing the input, you're increasing the capital. How much, how much capital, how much input do you need to get one additional unit of output? That is ICOR. So we need low ICOR for efficient economy, or we need high ICOR for efficient economy. Very good. As Iltush, Harshini, Shripurna, Mamta, Jiva, and all of you are saying low ICOR. And how we can do it? How we can, utilize our output in the best, or input or the capital in the best possible way, by using these AI, Gen AI, new technologies. So this is one good thing. The bad thing is aging capital stock, because government investment is high, public investment is high, private investment is not coming. So generally what happens? We made a road for 20 years. You made a building, you made a government building for 20 years. It's not like a private infrastructure where you keep on updating it. So our capital stock is aging. We need replacement, and there we need private investment. And then this whole Trump thing, tariff barriers thing, and all those stuff. So these positive and negative factors will offset, and we will be around 6.5% growth rate. Again, the important thing here is GVA, GDP, NNPFC, ICOR. What are these terms? What do they mean? And what India needs to do? India needs to boost private investment. We need to lower our ICOR, and policymakers must need to create a situation conducive for private investors. Generally, what happens? We keep on changing things. And that's why I had a talk with Harshini, and Harshini was saying that dictatorship is needed in our country. We keep on talking about why dictatorship is very important. Maybe Modi sir has to become a dictator now, because when you have dictatorship, you have uniformity of policies. China has some amount of dictatorship, one party and all, so they have uniformity of policy. And see, 1960s China and India were at the same level. China is where now, and where are we? Because of democracy. BJP comes, Congress comes, keep on flipping the policies, and in states also. So we need means dictatorship to a certain extent, according to various political experts. So hope you're understanding where we are going with this. Cool. So again, have a look at all these terms. Now let's solve some questions. We have discussed this whole GDP GVA thing. Now let's focus on some questions. MCQ1. People hope sometimes you are understanding, when did this happen without me knowing? Yeah, these things happen, Arshini. Sometimes you don't even know what you said. So that's why watch what you say. Oh my God. So MCQ1, which of the following statement is correct? GDP is always lower than GVA. GDP focuses on, and choose the best option. These questions will be tough because these are economic term related questions. So they are tough for everyone. Don't worry. If it's tough for you, it's tough for everyone. GDP is always lower than GVA. GDP focuses on, and they're asking sectoral performance. GVA measures overall economic output. Always read all options. GVA, so GVA excludes net indirect taxes. Yes. So here in this, we don't talk about taxes, etc. GVA is basically the value added. GDP is always lower. Wrong. Focuses. This is the opposite one. This is also wrong. This is wrong. So the answer is fourth, right? Who has written third? So this third one, Iltush, Mamta, Anandu, all of you have written, and Prateek, also you have said third. Why have you said third, guys? Third is like, is here it will be GDP. GDP is equal to GVA plus indirect taxes minus subsidy. They have changed it. The answer is 4. So again, hope you understood why the answer is 4, guys. Chepandi, Cheputilsu, Ledu, Kadu, guys. My hair is moving here and there. Okay, let's focus here. These questions will give you conceptual clarity, which generally lacks when people read economy. Oh my God. We need these questions for conceptual clarity. Let's focus on MCQ2. Guys, whoever has answered the third statement, are you people understanding why third is not the answer? Chepandis first. Really, really good. MCQ2, in quarter 1, India's real GDP growth was 7.8%, GVA growth was 7.6%. The difference of 0.2% primarily reflects what? Hmm. So Purna and Harshini, they have given the answer. Jivayan has given the answer. Gajanan has given the answer. So this difference, why it is happening? Because of the net indirect tax. Again, remember, what was GDP? GDP, GVA plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. So whatever difference is happening, it is happening because of this whole net indirect taxes. So net indirect taxes minus subsidies. 0.2% difference. B is the answer, as stated by Shripurna, Jivayan, Gajanan, and Mamta. Hope you people are understanding where we are going with this. Anandu also stated it. Cool. MCQ3. Which of the following statement about NDP and NNP are correct? The more questions you solve, the more, the easier it will be for you to remember these stuff. Iltush has also given the answer. Again, these are tough questions, guys. So these are tough for everyone. Don't worry. Cool. NDP, NNP. And you can formulate a formula, GDP and then NDP, GNP and then NNP. That way it's easier to remember stuff. Oh my God, what the? So Harshini has given the answer, Prateek has given the answer, Gajanan has given the answer, Jivan has given the answer, Mamta, Shipurna, all of you have given the answer. So NDP net, N always means net, right? So it is G minus D, GDP minus depreciation, NNP, GNP minus depreciation. Very good here. First is the answer. As stated by first by Harshini, then Prateek, then Gajanan, then Jivan, then Mamta, then Shipurna, then Anandu, then Iltush. Really, really good. Next article of the day, page 6 editorial. Oh my God, so many editorials today. Green transition accelerating at express speed. So why this article is important? Infrastructure. GS mains paper 3. railways, trains running on green hydrogen. Railways explicitly mention, and green hydrogen, we have talked about this. What is green hydrogen, guys? And this is so good for us. Trains running on green hydrogen. Green hydrogen, electrolysis of water done, H2 plus O2 you got, and this electrolysis of water is done using renewable energy. So the H2 which you have got, that is green hydrogen. You can get this, you can do this electrolysis of water via different ways, and then you can get different types of hydrogen. So major development, July 2025, India successfully tried first hydrogen powered train coach. Oh my god. So this is actually a good thing for us, right? And see, there is some numbers which we have to keep in mind. We have talked about India UK relationship. You people were very small at that time when I talked about India UK relationship, and I think G-Vine etc. was not even born. And then in that particular article, we discussed that India has to achieve net zero carbon emission by 2070. I think UK wanted to achieve it by which year? Yeah? What was the year for UK? They want to achieve it by net zero India. And what was the net zero for UK in that article? Anyone? Do you remember? Similarly, here, Indian Railways, they want to achieve their net zero carbon emission by 2030 only. 40 years before India is achieving their net zero target. And this is actually a good thing, because understand one thing, and here the dedicated freight corridor will play a crucial role. What are these dedicated freight corridor? So dedicated freight corridor means, the railways has two component. One is passenger component, other is freight component. Passenger and freight. Passenger is, they are taking us from one place to another. Very good. Iltush and Harshini, they have given the answer 2050. And so yes, so you people were like adult at that time. Passenger and freight. Passenger is always in loss. This whole thing now, where we are going and without ticket and all in Bihar, UP. Oh my God, I don't want to go via railways in Bihar. In Bihar, it doesn't matter whether you're in third tier or this tier or that tier. Why? But again, you can understand high population density. So passenger loss, freight profit. So dedicated freight corridor, as the name suggests here, these are exclusively for carrying goods, and these corridors. So there's one corridor which will be running from Punjab to Dankuni in West Bengal. So this is Eastern dedicated freight corridor. Then you have Western dedicated freight corridor, which will be running from Dadri in UP to Maharashtra, JNPT. So these dedicated freight corridor, what will happen when they are operationalized to their full capacity? Diversion. Understand one thing: goods being transferred by railways, goods being transferred by roadways, where energy emission will be lesser. Tell me one thing: if more goods are transferred by railways or more goods are transferred by roadways, energy emission will be lesser. Where? In roadways or in railways? Think about it, guys. These are the topics people love to read about: India, Taliban, Afghanistan, Israel. But these are the areas where people generally don't read, and you will have a advantage if you have basic conceptual clarity over these infrastructure related topics, which nobody wants to read. So India aims, like railways, net zero carbon emission by 2030. Awesome. UK 2050. Transformation includes clean energy adoption, and this hydrogen powered train coach is one example. Dedicated freight corridor is another example. And again, you can see the numbers here. We carry 24 million, 240 lakh passengers, 30 lakh tons of freight daily. Decarbonization directly supports national climate goals. And here, how we want to achieve it. So, as Gajanan, and like Harshini, Gajanan, Iltush, Anandu, Rail, and Pratik has stated, railways. So total renewable energy, 756 megawatt of renewable energy capacity installed. Maximum is solar energy, and here we are talking about railways. 2000 plus station powered by solar energy. Then you have some terms, as we have just discussed: dedicated freight corridor. Then you have Sunya. Then you have hydrogen for heritage. What are these terms? I can ask you. Sunya is net zero level. So there are so many buildings which are net zero. That means the carbon emission, carbon absorption, that is equal. So they're not emitting anything. Maybe they are having solar panels installed, and that's why they are, again, hope you can understand why they are net zero. And then you have some, they want to deploy 35 hydrogen trains which will be running on green hydrogen, as we were discussing. So all these are initiative taken by railways to promote renewable energy, or and this is actually awesome. And then this freight thing, we want to increase freight model share to 45% by 2030. Currently road has a major chunk. So the goods and services, trucks, you may have seen a YouTube video of a guy who makes chicken. He's going from one place to another in trucks, and he's making chicken on that, and he's more famous for his chicken recipes than truck and all those stuff. So trucks are a major model of communication, or when it comes to roadways. Hope I've said that thing correctly. And we want to increase freight model share. We want to increase air means railways component here, and that will, as you people said, that will avert 457 million tons of CO2 over 30 years. So all these things are awesome thing, guys. You will talk about hydrogen trains, you will talk about, dedicated freight corridor when you are talking about renewable energy and linkage between renewable energy and railways. Sir, I was coming to Delhi from Bangalore. We booked 3-tier coach, but it's like general coach. Yes, I can understand. So multilateral support. World Bank has given loan. Now, homework for you people. There are two terms again. One is World Bank, second is World Bank Group. They both are different things, guys. World Bank and World Bank Group. In World Bank, you have two organizations. In World Bank Group, you have 5 organizations. World Bank Group, there is one, like World Bank is a subset of World Bank Group. I think both of their headquarters is in Washington, DC, but World Bank is a subset of World Bank Group. You have to find out which two organization comes under World Bank. Is it IBRD, IDA, or some other organization? What are the other 3 organizations which comes under World Bank Group? What is this MEGA? So this is a homework. Please do these homeworks. You have to understand these things. And after Bhopal, generally the problem of people entering into third tier and etc. is not in these regions, Bhopal, etc. It's more in Bihar and UP, especially more in Bihar, even more so than UP. It doesn't matter whether you, and these people, they will say, so means speak in such a rough manner, it will, boil your blood. Okay, let's focus. So guys, Chapandis, do you people understand the basic difference between World Bank and World Bank Group? Or are you hearing it for the first time? Or you may have heard from me earlier also this whole thing. Have you, haven't you? So again, World Bank is giving us loan as they do, especially the World Bank, IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IDA is International Development Association. They help a lot. They focus more on the developing countries. And yesterday we talked about third world countries, etc., etc. We are not going there now. So expected benefits by 2030, achieving net zero could prevent 60 million tons of CO2 annually. Now, this article is important from so many different perspectives. Shipurna Bishwas has given the answer. IFC, MEGA, ICSID. Very good, yeah. So you can understand why this is important. GS mains paper 3. Not only important from infrastructure perspective, it is also important from energy perspective. So infrastructure, railways, and then you have energy as a separate topic in GS mains paper 3. So that's why this article is very important, guys. Make notes properly. Big picture challenge lies in mobilizing capital. We need money. Money hai to honey hai. Money and honey are same. So we need money to implement all these things. Dedicated freight corridor is still in operational stage. It has to still, it's not reached 100% capacity yet. We still have to develop a further, dedicated freight corridors in different regions. So we need money. World Bank is helping us, but please give us more money, more money. So India's railway decarbonization will be a global model for sustainable state-run transport system. We are, railways means attaining net zero by 2030. India will be attaining net zero by 2070. UK will be attaining net zero by 2050. From pre-perspective, these factors are important, and these facts are important from mains perspective. Everything given in this mains article is very important. So Ankit sir is a good boy. Who is a good boy? Ankit sir is a good boy. Very good boy. Okay, let's focus, guys. So MCQ4, the net zero carbon emission target of Indian Railways by 2030 is significant because, why is it significant? Iltush is also a good girl. So net zero carbon emission target of Indian Railways by 2030 is significant. Why? And choose the best option, guys. Best option. For choosing the best option, read all option. We people, in this age of reels, what has happened? Our attention span is very short attention span. So and this happens, and this makes you, and you will pay for it in UPSC, CSE, if you don't get rid of this short attention span. And that's why you will see that not many movies are becoming hit these days. Sunny Sanskari ki Tulsi Kumari. Who named these movies, guys? It's a flop now. Even though it's everybody's favorite, Varun Dhawan is in it, who is India's best actor, comparable to Daniel Day-Lewis. So even then the movie flopped. Why? Because we don't want to watch these 3-hour movies. But we can watch Kantara. Kantara is awesome. What I'm trying to tell you here is short term or short attention span is the pandemic or the epidemic of this particular era. And because of that, you sometimes you get overexcited. Don't be that guy or girl. Read all options. Oh my god, I have given you so much big lecture on this. So Shipurna, Hashini, Jivan, Anandu, Iltush, Mamta, Gajanan, Rishi, all of you have given the answer. India is 40 years ahead of India's national net zero target. Very, very good. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word, kill it. And we will talk about the success bundle later on. Page number 7. Oh my god, opinion, editorial. Kill me now. Now this is the most important article of the day. Most important article. Why this is most important article of the day? Because the number of questions, and this is your homework now, guys. So number of questions which UPSC has asked on caste system, mains, we are talking about mains, where it is important. GS mains paper 1, society. Now this is your homework, guys. What is your homework? Find out all caste based questions. There are multiple questions, more than 5 maybe, caste means questions, and solve them once we are done with this article. Cast mains questions, solve them. People who are a part of my mains evaluation, oh my god, I'm not doing the sponsoring right now. You send your answer to me. People who are getting your answer evaluated by somebody else, send your answers to them, get it evaluated. This is important. You have to solve these mains question. Very important. Most important article of the day, very important from mains perspective. So what Harish Wankhede sir is talking about. So here this whole article reminded me of something. What it reminded me of. So in our time, because of Kantara movie, Sunny Sanskari flop, Kantara took attention. Kamal Hassan, very good. So there was a movie of our times. I don't know how many. Can you people recognize this image is from which movie? So this movie in recent times portrayed caste system. But sadly for us, movie like Sayara. To say Sayara songs are awesome, guys. I have neither watched Sayara, I have neither watched this movie nor a neither, but I have heard a lot about this particular movie when it came on Netflix. And it was there is a scene where a guy from higher caste, he does susu on a guy from lower caste in this particular movie. I don't know how many of you know about this particular movie. So Shipurna and Pratik, they have given the answer, Dhadak. So basically you may feel like you people are from well-off families. I'm not saying why I'm saying you people are from well-off families who are watching it right now, because you are watching it. That means your concern is not food and all those stuff. So you are from a well-to-do family. Food is not a concern. You have time to study. And this whole thing, caste system atrocities, you may not have seen it, or you may have seen it from, I have seen it, and this is still prevalent. And I think I made a Hindu analysis article on untouchability earlier. In untouchability, the scenario is such: which article of Indian Constitution deals with untouchability, a prohibition of untouchability? That there is an Untouchability Act also of 1950.